YouTube, what it do, man? It's your boy HudroFromDeep, back with another video. Today video we gonna be reacting to a video by MKBHD about the Nintendo Switch 2. I had the Switch 1, it was pretty cool. On Switch 2, I have some expectations of it. The graphics, cause I think that's like the biggest improvement maybe is the graphics. I don't know, but yeah, I'm excited to see what this Switch 2 is looking like. Let's get to it. Video starts now.
Yo, I'm KBHD here. Welcome to your first look and hands-on with the Nintendo Switch 2. And this is everything you need to know. It's obviously one of the hottest and most anticipated new consoles in a long time. So when Nintendo invited me to this little hands-on in New York City with a few
Mario Kart already looks better. Like, I'll just say that off rip.
other YouTubers, obviously, I said yes. So the first Switch, I don't know if you remember, came out in 2017. So naturally, almost a decade later, there's a bunch of stuff that people, including myself, a mere casual, have been waiting for this to be updated. And spoiler alert, they basically, I think, hit every single one of those things. But there is one big asterisk kind of overhanging all of it. So general form factor wise, this shape, very familiar. It looks like a Switch. Like, you've probably already seen the images online, but it is noticeably bigger. So it's the same thickness as the first generation, but it feels thinner because everything's kind of spread out more. It's bigger. The body's bigger, the Joy-Cons are bigger, and it's mostly...
I haven't seen it in size, but I mean, I haven't seen it in person, but let me tell you, size matters when it comes to this type of stuff. Size actually matters, like, because let me tell you, the Nintendo Switch is the type of game that I'm gonna have in my hands for a long time. So comfortability is very important, right? Like how my fingers are spread on this thing, it's very important. Also, the display, like, is this comfortable to look at for games that I'm gonna be playing for a long amount of time? Because usually I'm playing on, you know, a monitor or a TV, you know, something of a bigger screen. So playing something on a smaller screen is very interesting as far as the size dynamics goes and comfortability. You know, you have to think about a lot of stuff. Anyway, let's
driven by this big new screen. So it's now a 7.9-inch display up front, up from 6.2. And this is still an LCD, but it's now a 1080p variable refresh rate LCD that gets up to 120 hertz, and it just looks so much better than the original Switch. It looks plenty bright to me too. It supports HDR as well. Notably, it's not an OLED though, so it doesn't have the perfectly inky blacks or the battery life advantages that come with an OLED. I do kind of think that we're eventually also going to see a Switch 2 OLED. I think that makes sense. It'll probably be in a few years. There's probably also going to be a Switch 2 Lite in a few years as well.
That would be crazy.
Doesn't mean you have to wait for those. It's just something to keep in mind in the back of your head. But yeah, I'm definitely loving the variable refresh rate up to 120 hertz. Every game they're showing here takes advantage of it. You know how iPhone defenders always love to say, oh, you know, people can't tell the difference between 60 and 120 hertz. It's no big deal. But, you know, high refresh rate and gaming go hand in hand. So I think a lot of people will appreciate the smoother games and potentially also the smoother UI that comes with it. So the screen is the biggest improvement. Now, there are some other, you know, nice quality of life improvements here, like the full width kickstand that lets you prop it up at a pretty wide variety of angles, including almost all the way down, similar to this.
We're talking that, you know, I actually, like, I don't have my Switch anymore, but if from what I can remember, the Switch doesn't have, I don't want to click anything because I don't want to, let me look it up on my phone. The Switch doesn't have a kickstand, if I'm not mistaken. The Switch 1, it didn't come with a kickstand. I appreciate that because there are times where, like, Rogers need to sit this down, and like, I hate how, because of the back triggers are with the Switch 1, it would make it kind of like, I don't know, like unstable when you sit it down. Like, it wasn't like flat. So I appreciate the kickstand. Like, that's a very nice touch, and whoever thought of that is very thoughtful. Like,
Switch OLED, but they added another port up to the top as well. And that makes it easier to charge while the console's kind of sitting on a table or something, since that was a pain before. And it's also perfect for the additional USB Type-C accessories, which I'll get to in a second. But I think the other obvious biggest upgrade is the new Joy-Cons. So many things are better about these new Joy-Cons. First of all, they are bigger, like everything else, which ergonomically is very welcome. The left and right sticks are larger too. There's a new C button down here for game.
Beautiful. These controllers are beautiful. I love the shape. I love the matte black. Like, I love the analog. I love everything about these controllers.
Which I will also get to in a second. And then they connect to the main console with magnets in a really satisfying way.
Oh my God, magnets.
Basically just slap right onto the side and line up automatically. No slide necessary. Love a good magnet. You get them off by holding this release button here, which is literally just a lever that pushes the Joy-Con off the side of the Switch. And I think it's really nicely calibrated. If you just touch the release button but don't pull, the Joy-Con actually pushes off but then snaps right back on because the magnet is so strong. But if you release and pull, then it just pops off really easily, and then you can snap it back on whenever you want with a nice click. Now, the neat thing is, most of the Joy-Con is still made of plastic to be lightweight, but at the top here, these SR and SL buttons, first of all, they are way bigger than last gen, but they're also actually made of the metal that the magnets in the console are attracted to. They're steel buttons. So that's why the connection between the Joy-Cons and the Switch are so strong. It's that metal right there. My only worry here is actually just durability. So you can see when you pull that Joy-Con off, you can see these pins on the Switch. And I kind of wonder how many little kids are going to bend those pins. Like, there is a tiny bit of wiggle actually built in to hopefully make it not snap too easily. But yeah, there's no way to tell until they start shipping these to real people and we start seeing the stories rolling in, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. Oh, and there's also stronger feeling haptics. They're called HD Rumble 2. The Rumble Pack is directly attached to the plastic in the back of the Joy-Cons. They feel nice and strong, a little bit more precise.
Was that bullet going the wrong direction? Nah, that's crazy. Ain't gonna count. The bullet is going the wrong direction, bro. I know this Mario Kart about to go crazy.
Too. So that's really nice. And then lastly, each Joy-Con can also be used as a mouse in supporting games. I did not see this one coming. It's kind of interesting idea, but basically there's a small optical sensor on the side of the Joy-Con. So if you turn that Joy-Con horizontally and place that sensor down on a table, you can move it around like a mouse, even rotate it, and that acts as yet another input method that apparently certain games.
Bro, it's hot as shit in here, bro. It's hot as fuck in my apartment, bro. It's like, damn, like, I'm in here trying to, like, get comfortable a little bit. I'm sweating a little bit. I'm like, damn, let me, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, damn, I'm like, damn, let me just cut the AC on, bro. I cut the AC off, bro. Like, I ain't explaining my
work pretty well with. I was doing this demo of a wheelchair basketball game. And so it ended up being pretty intuitive. You kind of hold the triggers and push forward, and you would move forward in the game. Never would have thought it would work so well, but there's a good amount of sensitivity. Apparently you can do this while swiping forward on your jeans and your lap too if you wanted to.
It's okay, but they're gonna have to show me some more games. Like, why did you add this feature? Why did you add why did you add this? Who asked for this? You know, it's kind of creative at the same time. It's creative, it's innovative, but like, what is this and why? Is my
surfaces
question.
Should work as well. In the Nintendo Direct live stream, they also showed this other golf game where you move the putter around and rotate it and then make a stroke using the mouse motion, all on a table like a mouse.
I see what they're doing now.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We'll see what other games end up using this control. Now, we didn't get a whole lot of other specifics like the chip it's running or even how much RAM it has, which admittedly, you know, a lot of Switch buyers just don't care about. But one big spec that they did improve is they've gone from 32 gigs of storage on the original Switch to 256 gigs of storage. And the storage is faster. So I definitely appreciate this. You can see my Switch home screen behind me. I could only fit 3 games on my Switch. One of them was Rocket League, and it was like 17.
Bro, they gave him one? Nintendo. I love you. I've been playing Nintendo since 64. not the year 64, Nintendo 64. I think since maybe I've been playing Nintendo since it's early. The Wii, like the GameCube. I used to play GameCube. That was my primary system. I wasn't on PlayStation. Later on, eventually, I got to Xbox. But the beginning stages, the GameCube was my primary system. The Nintendo DS was my primary handheld system. I've been a Nintendo fan since as early as I can remember. Fly me out. Let me get flued out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go to an event. I'm trying to pop out. I promise I am, you know what I'm saying? I'm super professional. All that. Like, we can vibe out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to worry about no incidents with me. None of that. Like, I'm just trying to get flued out. Maybe y'all, you know what I'm saying? Throw y'all some ideas. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got, a Hudro Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? We dropped some shit for the people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's up? Nintendo fuck with the boy, man.
Gigs. But I also think this will directly relate to how much larger Switch 2 games will probably be. So 256 gigs will feel in line with the larger file sizes, bigger textures, higher resolution, and all that. Switch 2 games will probably also be bigger too. So thankfully, there is still micro SD card support. It lives right here under the hinge again, and you'll specifically have to get a micro SD express card to play games.
I'm kind of torn between colors. Should I get the all black one or should I get the red and blue? The colors look so crazy, bro.
On the Switch 2
colors already.
But I think generally they'll be pretty easy to find. I already saw Lexar is going to be making a 1 terabyte micro SD card just for the Switch 2, so that's awesome. Now the Switch isn't a Switch without the dock, and the new dock supports 4K resolution out to a TV. Love to see that. There's actually also a fan in the Switch 2 dock that turns on while it's docked. So while it's cranking out that extra resolution, it doesn't get too hot. But from there, I feel like all of the new software features have a bit of a theme. This Switch 2 feels like a much more social console. Like I think Nintendo saw a ton of success with the original Switch and started thinking about more ways to make it a better experience, because now there are going to be groups of people where several of them have a Switch. So when you hit that new C button on the Joy-Con, it brings up this new menu called Game Chat. So they didn't let us do this in the demos that I tried today, but in Nintendo Direct, you can see the idea is if you have some friends on other Switches gaming at the same time as you, you can all turn your mics on and talk to each other, or even turn screen sharing on to see each other's gameplay live, which is cool. I know a lot of people do FaceTime while gaming and kind of want to combine the whole experience. So I personally probably wouldn't do this, but I totally get it. And it's funny, it was actually refreshing seeing this in Nintendo's official footage. You can see the gameplay from other people as you're watching it it's kind of laggy and it's kind of low resolution, but it's totally fine. Like, this makes me believe more that what we're seeing here is exactly how it'll look. Like, Nintendo didn't want to make any fake promises like, oh, it'll be 1080p when you watch other people game. But hey, at least you'll have an idea of what's going on their screen, so that's cool. But not only that, if you get this optional accessory here, which is called the Switch 2 camera, this little thing plugs into that top.
I am not buying no damn Switch 2 camera. Listen, man, I'm not even on that. Like, I'm not trying to get on that shit. Like, I don't be on that shit and be socially, like, trying to play that shit. Like, I'll be playing adventure games and shit, bro. Like, Link, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Zelda. Shout out Super Mario. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill shit, bro. Shout out the Avengers type shit. I be playing chill shit, bro. I'm not on there trying to, you know what I'm saying, socialize. But if you are, that's what's up with you. But, bro, that's crazy that this shit come with a damn... I'm glad it came with a camera, though, because imagine if it came with a camera inside the system. So now it's like you're holding it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you holding the system, and it's like looking at your face, and it's looking like all weird and shit. Like, that's kind of weird. I'm glad that they made it a separate accessory. What about a mic? Like, is the mic in the console? I believe it's in the console. I don't know. I think they did say it was in the console. That's kind of cold too. I wonder, so now I just really wonder about the charger. Like, the dock is pretty cool. It's supporting 4K. I fuck with that finally. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember the original Switch. You would plug it up and then it would kind of look, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of TV y'all got, but I got a pretty nice TV, a 75-inch in my living room. And when I would plug in my Switch, it looked like I'm playing on a freaking Android. But anyway, yeah, man. I'm glad they did this with the Switch, with the dock. I think it's definitely an upgrade. I like the improvements. I do think this is an evolution. But there's definitely there's always room to grow. You know what I mean? Like, there's always gonna be room to grow. So, anyways, yeah, man.
Port on the Switch when you're docked, or I think you can even plug it straight into the dock itself. And when you point it at yourself, it can automatically cut you out from the background and put your face next to your gameplay. So it literally feels like a gaming version of a Zoom call or something. Like, everyone can see their friends' faces and their friends' reactions to the games in real time. And some games will even integrate that feed a little more, like putting your face over where an avatar would normally be. It's like video chatting while playing a game. It's not going to be the highest fidelity thing ever, but it'll be a sort of extra layer on top and makes it feel more social. So game chat is cool when you're in multiple different places, but there's also going to be situations where multiple people are all gaming in the same physical place with switches. And so they built a feature just for that, which is being able to share a game with other people who don't have it yet, up to 3 other people. So one Switch 2 is the host, and then up to 3 other Switches, they don't have to have the game installed at all. It's just one guy goes, all right, guys, I'll have this game. We're all going to play it in the same room. And every one of you now temporarily has this game, and you can play.
Game share is cool. I like that they added that. I'm going to skip ahead just because game share is... Oh, the controller's $80.
$90 if you want the physical version. That...
What? $90 for the physical? $80 for the digital? Who do they think we are? Donald Trump? What? Bro. That is crazy.
Definitely feels really high. There are so many great PC and console games, and even Switch 1 games in the store in like the $50 to $60 range right now. NBA 2K25 is like my staple for an expensive game. That's $70 on the PS5. So pushing that up again, $80 to $90 for a Switch 2 game does feel kind of like it's pushing it.
That's
and then
crazy.
They also announced this really smart looking demo game called Welcome Tour that basically walks you through all of the features and lets you demo everything and really get to know the Switch 2 well. Kind of reminds me of Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation 5, which did the exact same thing, helped you learn what the DualSense controller was capable of. And that was free. That actually came pre-installed on the PS5 at launch. And Nintendo has even done Wii Sports in the past, which was a free demo game that came on the Nintendo Wii and low-key turned out to be one of the greatest games of all time. The Nintendo Switch 2 demo game, though, is paid. It's not included for free. It's going to be like $10 or $20 or something like that in the store. But even just having it paid at all, to me, seems like a huge miss. That's going to be so many people that are not going to experience it, that are not going to be able to fully walk through it and understand and get to know their Switch 2, because no one's going to go buy that demo game. I don't know what they were thinking there. Other than that, though, the Switch 2 seems pretty sweet. Not going to lie. I really like it. There's a reason the original Switch was one of the best selling consoles of all time. It was well priced, great form factor, very versatile. For me, the perfect airplane game console. I would say the signs are pointing to Switch 2 also being really good again. But there are also definitely some things we still don't know. Like, for example, we obviously don't know the chip and the RAM. We do know it's confirmed that there is some amount of DLSS happening. I would assume that to do 4K on a TV, there's some amount of upscaling happening. We just don't know exactly how much yet. But then also battery life. How similar or different will battery life potentially be from the first Switch? You know, having a bigger, higher refresh rate, higher resolution screen tends to eat battery life, but it's also bigger, so the battery capacity can be bigger, so maybe it just balances out and it's similar. TBD. I don't think fast charging is announced or anything crazy like that. But then also things like durability and whether they fix Joy-Con drift or not. These are all things that are TBD, and that I think would be great to find out for a full review. So maybe get subscribed if you're interested in seeing something like that to be among the first to see it. And let me know in the comments down below what else you want to see. Now, if you're one of those people who's just going to pre-order no matter what, then I highly recommend checking out the kill switch from channel sponsor Dbrand. See, originally the kill switch line was developed for the Steam Deck, and that ended up being one of the best possible Steam Deck cases. So now they're taking this same formula and making it for the Switch 2, plus some cool extras. So there's a travel cover. So just like the Steam Deck version, it will be super protective, so you can toss it in a bag or wherever else you want. But then for the Switch 2, they added a game card holder, so you can hold up to 10 games with you, and you can even see them through the frosted finish. They've also added some ergonomic hand grips, and unlike other Switch cases, they also detach with the Joy-Cons. But the whole point of the Switch 2 is that when you take it with you on the go, you can dock it when you get home, right? Most cases aren't going to fit inside the dock, but Dbrand solved that one too with a dock adapter that they're including with every purchase. So if you want to check them out, hit them up at...
Alright, bro, that's the end of this video. Hey, listen, I'm on this Switch 2 like bad. Like as soon as it dropped, like I'm on it, and I'm on Zelda, and I'm on Mario Kart. Like, yeah, I'm on that. Like, I need that, bro. I be on Nintendo shit like crack, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all throw another event, hit your boy up. You know what I'm saying? I pull up. You know what I'm saying? Light up something dope with y'all boys. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? We get the grooves going, man. What's up? Fuck with your boy. Let me know in the comments. Like, do y'all fuck with this shit? What is y'all favorite Nintendo game system, and why? And how long have you been playing Nintendo? Like, is it where do you rank Nintendo? Do you rank Nintendo? Me personally, I think I rank Nintendo low key. Nah, okay, Nintendo is third. I'm going Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. And by Nintendo, I mean just Nintendo as a whole, the entire category. I don't mean like any specific system. Anyways, hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think. I appreciate you for watching this video. Stay solid, man. Keep your head up out there. Peace.